This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR. And today, the Giants shut out by the Texas Rangers, falling 2-0. Nate Eovaldi was sensational on the mound for Bruce Bochy's bunch. And with only 5 base runners through the entirety of this game, the Giants really never had a chance to mount any offensive momentum and could not muster up any run support for Justin Verlander, who actually had another pretty solid start. I think he's starting to get back on track. We'll break it all down. But first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed and making us your first listen following these Giants games. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kasmick, always does a great job. So in this one today, man, I mean, Wyatt Langford did the vast majority of the damage for the Rangers. Got him on the board early in the third inning. He drove a 2-out double and allowed Jake Berger to score from second base on the play, gave the Rangers a 1-0 lead. And then later on, he sets the table, almost drove the run in himself in that sixth inning. Josh Smith singled, and then there was a ball that ended up being a ground rule double because of the place that it hit on the fence after it took a hop up onto that right center field wall. And it was the one part in that center field wall where there's just a little bit of a gap between where the center field wall runs into that left field wall, and it bounced and hit over the center field wall just to the right of the yellow line that extends upwards from the center field wall to the top of the left field wall. It is a very small portion of the yard, but the ball squeaked right in there, and it was to the Giants' favor at that time because it ended up being a ground rule double. Smith had to go back to third base, so it prevented the run from scoring temporarily, but set the table for Jock Peterson of all people. It was all the Giants that were huge letdowns here in San Francisco came back to hurt him tonight. Jock Peterson driving in that second run on a single to right field. Man, I just a bummer that the Giants have had to have Jock Peterson of all people, who's been having a terrible year, come in and chalk up an RBI. His first RBI of the entire year comes against the Giants. It would work out that way, but it wasn't the only thing that went the Rangers' way as far as old Giants coming back to hurt him. Luke Jackson gets the save in that ninth inning. Man, I can't tell you how many times I came on this show last year and was just furious with Luke Jackson. I called him all throughout last season, kept saying he was might as well be taking up a part-time day job at Original Joe's here in San Francisco, serving up meatballs, because all he did as a Giant was throw meatball after meatball after meatball. And how many saves did this guy blow? How many holds did this guy blow last year? It seemed like every time he was out there, he got shelled. And now here he is in a Ranger uniform. Bruce Bochy, the old man pitcher whisperer who can just rejuvenate the career of any pitcher ever known to throw a baseball, makes Luke Jackson what he is this year. It's his 8th save of the season. Dude is pitching really well, and he looked really good tonight. And there's nothing bad I can say about his outing for as far as a skill standpoint. But man, am I salty about this. It makes me so upset when I see guys who just fell on their face here in San Francisco go somewhere else and succeed. It is very, very frustrating. So those two guys did a lot of damage to the Giants tonight. But really, the turning point for this one came much, much, much earlier than the end of this game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And the turning point for this one really was the first pitch Nate Eovaldi threw. I mean, this guy was on point from the very, very, very first pitch of this game, all through his 6 innings that he lasted. He only gave up 4 base runners in those 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, struck out 7, and all 7 strikeouts came by way of that splitter, and that splitter was nasty today. He had a 38% whiff rate on that splitter, and even when Giants hitters did hit that pitch, it was an average exit velo of just 81 miles an hour. The hardest hit ball off that splitter today, just 90.6 miles an hour exit velo. So he really had that pitch going today. You wish Jordan Hicks could find a little bit of that magic in his splitter again that he showcased at the beginning part of last year. Haven't seen that from Hicks this year. Maybe he should call Nate Eovaldi like Robbie Ray called up Tarek Skubal to figure out how to throw that kick change. So maybe there needs to be like a meeting of the minds here. Maybe Bruce Bochy can make something happen for a current Giant. I know that's a stretch. He didn't coach him or anything. So it's Bruce Bochy and Robbie Ray don't have any sort of connection that I know of, at least. So we're grasping at straws here for a way that that somehow Jordan Hicks can learn Nate Eovaldi's splitter, because his has been really struggling, and Eovaldi's was just so damn good tonight. So the Giants really never figured out Eovaldi on the mound, but they didn't figure out anybody coming out of that bullpen either. The Giants strike out 13 times tonight. I mean, just way too many strikeouts. You only had one walk. A 13-1 strikeout to walk ratio is not going to win you very many games in this league. So the Giants, their offense is starting to look a little inconsistent after these last couple outings. Some up and down play from them for sure. But I do expect this team to continue to produce most nights offensively. It's weird that you have these hiccups where they just have 13 strikeouts in one game, and a lot of them coming at the top of the order. Jung-Hoo Lee striking out 3 times. He did pick up 1 hit in today's game, but 3 strikeouts for Jung-Hoo Lee does not happen very often in the same game. Matt Chapman, Wilmer Flores, Willie Adames, Mike Yastrzemski, and of course Jung-Hoo Lee all had multiple strikeouts in this one. So the Giants really struggling at the top of the order tonight. It did not look good. The one guy who I was impressed with for picking up a hit tonight, Lamont Wade Jr. He needs more than one, but he really needed to get one badly tonight, and he did. He went 1 for 3. He was one of the only I think he was the only runner who ever ended up in scoring position tonight for the Giants. Giants go 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Very, very bad night at the dish for the Giants, as Nate Eovaldi really held them down. But it was the entire Rangers pitching staff. All the relievers who came in today did a great job for those Texas Rangers. And of course, capped off by Luke Jackson, as we mentioned. Don't go anywhere. We got more of the show coming up next. We got to talk about tonight's player of the game and what you'll be talking about. We got to break down Justin Verlander's day. He was pretty good tonight as well. Is he back on track? That's what's coming up next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Avowed as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. It is the latest technology for elevated playing with Wi-Fi 6/6E and auto low latency mode at advanced technology. Fire TV Stick 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with lightning fast gaming speeds, so you need to stay competitive. I mean, what's worse than missing a tackle in college football 25 and giving up a breakaway touchdown because of some lag, man? That is the worst thing in the world if you're a gamer. I've grown up doing this my whole life, and nothing frustrates me more than some high intensity lag when I'm trying to play online. So head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and tonight the Giants 2-0 loss, shut out by the Texas Rangers. Nate Eovaldi had a great night, and so did the Rangers bullpen. We broke that down earlier, but now we got to get into what you'll be talking about, which I think after tonight is going to be Justin Verlander.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And Justin Verlander, I mean, he has been pitching better than his numbers might reflect. I mean, the ERA just barely below 5, and I mean just barely. 4.99 ERA right now for Verlander. Picks up the loss today, but I mean, when you hold a team to 2 runs over 6 innings of work, you only give up 5 hits and 1 walk, you strike out 5. Like that's a solid day on the mound. You expect most of those types of starts, most of those types of starts are going to turn into wins for a guy like Justin Verlander. And for most pitchers on this Giants offense, Logan Webb, as we know, has a lot of losses after, holding teams to two runs or less. But I mean, for the Giants tonight, you couldn't get this guy any run support, which is frustrating because he has been searching for that first win in a Giants uniform, still searching for that first win in a Giants uniform. But he had a lot going for him tonight. He had a 24% whiff rate. The fastball looked lively. He was able to really generate a lot of extra velo when he needed to in certain situations. He topped out at 96.4 miles an hour with that fastball. And Verlander looked really good. I think this might have been the best that he has looked on the mound. I know that I think he gave up less runs in his last start than he did today, but I thought he looked really good. I thought that fastball was exploding out of his hand. I thought he was locating well. I thought he was able to throw every single pitch in his arsenal over the plate for a strike. Did not look like he was struggling to do anything that he wanted to do out there on the mound. And with the exception of a couple mistakes to Wyatt Langford, I mean, he really had a nice game tonight. Justin Verlander did. So disappointing that the Giants couldn't help him out. He ended up with 89 pitches in this one. And as I said, he only gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts over 6 innings for Justin Verlander. Just a bummer that they couldn't get him the win. 65 of his 89 pitches were strikes. So, I mean, he was doing a good job filling up that strike zone. Just couldn't get it done. But the numbers are starting to reflect a little bit more of what the advanced metrics suggest. And in his expected ERA this season, 4.05 so far. This 4.99 is getting closer than like the 6 point whatever he was at a little bit earlier in this season. So Verlander has pitched better than his numbers might suggest. And it's been I think it's a good thing that he's going to start to come around. I think that the Giants offense just needs to kind of start to pick it up. And of course, we're mainly, when we talk about the Giants offense, we're mainly talking about those guys like Matt Chapman, like Lamont Wade Jr., who just like Elliot Ramos, who have all been slumping. Pat Bailey too. All these guys have really either yet to get going this year or went through some hot streaks and then have cooled off dramatically. In the case of Elliot Ramos, Pat Bailey is a little bit concerning to me that he is not having such a great start to his season offensively, because we know that the offensive numbers predictably are going to dip in the second half of the season for Pat Bailey. He has done this every single year of his career so far, and I expect him to kind of show the same pattern this year. So he never gets going in the first half of the season and then slumps in the second half of the season. Man, that I do not want to know what that slump is going to look like for Pat Bailey if he never figures it out at the plate in the first half of the year. He's obviously one of the best defensive catchers in baseball. Weird Pat Bailey thing that has been going on these last couple games. Keeps dropping strikes, man. Like the pitcher is locating the ball exactly where he's setting up, and he is just dropping strikes. And I don't understand what's happening to him. He did take a foul ball off the thumb earlier this season, and it was clearly bothering him in that game. And maybe it has continued to bother him. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna come right out and say, hey, my thumb's hurting me, guys. That's why I keep dropping these balls. But I do kind of wonder what's going on with him back there, because it's very un-Pat Bailey. Like for as good of as great of a framer he is in for the really fast pop time, he does kind of struggle a little bit with blocking balls sometimes and just keeping the ball in front of him. So it's interesting to see him start dropping these strikes now. Just a weird observation. I don't really have any further analysis on why that might be happening, but just strange, just very, very strange to see that from one of baseball's best defensive catchers. But all in all, the Giants, I think, are going to be okay. They're still 7 games over 500. The offense, I think the ship will right itself a little bit. I don't think Lamont Wade Jr. is going to bat 100 for the entire season. I don't think Pat Bailey is going to be batting below 200 for the entire season. And I do think Elliot Ramos, I said at the beginning of the season, I expect this guy to break 30 home runs this year. I still expect Elliot Ramos to break 30 home runs this year. I think it'll happen. He's a guy who, when he gets hot, he gets really, really, really hot. So we'll see what happens. But going forward, I think the Giants will be all right. And as my guy Cole, one of our everydayers, was saying in the chat, every NL West team lost today. So there is that. San Francisco, not the only National League West team to lose today. So that's very good news for Giants fans, although it is very early to be scoreboard watching, but it's always a good day when the Dodgers lose, right? We can always be a little bit happier about that. The Giants, I think that they just haven't really found their rhythm at home this year. They have not had very many games at home this year. So they got to get used to playing in this colder ballpark, this colder environment, which they haven't really been playing in yet to this date. So you saw a little extra sting on like foul balls that would come back to hit the Giants when they were in the batter's box. Mike Yastrzemski fouled off a ball right into his inner thigh, his upper inner thigh, maybe into some nether region areas, and that did not look very comfortable from the couch that I was sitting on, where I was very comfortable. But Mike Yastrzemski, that looked like it hurt. He was down for a while, and hope he's feeling okay. That just wanted to send out some good vibes to Mike Yastrzemski, some feel better particles, because he's been pretty good for the Giants this season. Was not very good today. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. So the Giants, nobody on this team really got it going offensively. Justin Verlander, before we get on out of here, we got to give Justin Verlander our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And I don't really know who else this would go to, because everybody else on the Giants, I mean, we didn't have a single guy get on base twice as far as the lineup. We had Willy Adames make a pretty good defensive play at short earlier in the game, but ultimately it was Justin Verlander. He was the only guy who really gave you something to cheer for out there today, and he was looking good, man. I really do think he's starting to get back on track, which would be a very, very, very big lift for this Giants starting rotation, who has really been lackluster out of the gate. At least the numbers reflect that they've been lackluster. But as I said, Verlander, I think, has pitched better than the numbers reflect. Jordan Hicks has pitched better than the numbers reflect. A lot of bad luck for Giant starters this year, with like seeing eye singles and just untimely errors and walks piling up at the wrong times. And it just seems like it's been a recipe for disaster for the Giant starters a lot of time this year. Unless your name's Logan Webb, then you just don't have run support sometimes. So the Giants couldn't get their 9th comeback win of the season. They already got 8 of them, but couldn't do it again today. It's about all the time that we have for you guys today on the Locked On Giants postcast. Make sure you're tuning in tomorrow when the Giants continue their series against the Rangers. It's Brandon Crawford Day out at the Yard, so make sure you're getting out there early if you're going to see the Giants, and make sure to see that Brandon Crawford, the retirement ceremony. Of course, you're going to want to be there early. Giants always know how to put on a party, so should be a good time. We'll be coming to you live after the game, as we always do here on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.